Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have finished already the toolbar, the file option, edit option, image option, layer option. Today I'll be teaching you the style, select, filter. I will explain just briefly, view and window, and with that we can wrap up the basic of Photoshop. So let's get started, but before that please do subscribe if you have not subscribed for more updates. So let's start directly with type. The first option I'll not be explaining because it's not related to basics. So let's go to the panels. Let me first type something here. So I'll type my name Trevor. Trevor Lewis. That's my surname. I select it, and over here I have the text options. So the font I'll keep it as agency. Size maybe I'll make it 36 or 72. Okay. So type, panels, character panel will give you a character window over here. If you click it directly you'll get it over here also. Then you have panel, paragraph panel. It's the next one at the side over here. Over here you can change the same things that you see on top when you select the text tool over here. You see over here the font, the boldness, the size, crisp, it's all here also. Plus you have a paragraph option here. Then type panel. Glyphs panel is basically special characters you can insert. If I want to insert something, say this, I'll just double click it and it comes. I'll just hide it back. Type, panels. These two I'll not be explaining because you'll not be requiring it in the basics, so we can just skip it for now. I don't think you'll be using it also. Then we come to anti-alias. Anti-alias is something you can see when I zoom in. Okay. Now if I say type anti-alias none, you see it's become very sharp. The edges have become very sharp. Now if I say type anti-alias crisp, it gets smoother. This is the standard one that we use. Type anti-alias sharp makes it sharper. It's different from none. Type anti-alias strong. Type anti-alias smooth. But normally we work with anti-alias crisp. Okay. Type anti-alias Windows, LCD and Windows is not required. Then we go to orientation, horizontal or vertical. Now it's horizontal, I can make it vertical. And I can get it back to horizontal. Then type, open type, we'll not be using it because normally this is used when you use a particular font for Windows and Mac, so you don't need to load two different fonts. It will be an open type of font which we will not discuss here because it's not for the basics. Extrude to 3D will give you a 3D option. If you're about to go to a 3D layer, say yes, and it takes you to a 3D panel. You see, it's made it into 3D. And you have a camera option here where you can see the top, right angle, top angle, front angle, back angle, front angle, and you have a separate 3D panel over here, so you can just play around with the values. So I'll just go back to what it was, and my workspace I'll get it back to essentials because it changes it to 3D. Then type type create work path. It will basically, I'll zoom inside so that you can see. Type create work path. We'll just make it a path where I can modify the design. So if I go to this arrow, I can just click on it and I can make it a separate. I can modify the path, change the shape, and if I go to my paths panel over here, I'll have a new path. So I can right click and I'll say make selection of it, and I'll get a new selection of the path that I created right now. So I can just go to a new layer and I can fill it just to modify the text. So I'll go back to this thing, then type convert to shape. Now it will make it a similar look, it will be, but you see the difference. Now if I go to arrow and I move any point, it will move the color also, and the text is not editable anymore. I cannot edit the text, I cannot change the word, I cannot make it Trevor Lewis with another S, I cannot. It's converted into a shape. I'll just undo it. Okay. You see over here when there's a T, that means it's editable. I can click it and I can add anything. Once I make it into a shape, it's just a shape, it's not a text anymore. So it's just a shape, I cannot edit it. Basically I cannot change the word, I can just edit the color, shape and all. Now next one is rasterize type. Rasterize will basically again make it uneditable and it will make it into a flat layer. I can either do it by right clicking and rasterizing the type, or I can go to type and rasterize type layer. So that's it, it's converted into a flat layer. I cannot edit it anymore. I can only change the color and filters and effects. You normally use this when exporting a file and you don't want to have the next person or the next operating system or anything missing any font. So you just rasterize the full file and you don't have any issues with fonts. Then we go to convert to paragraph text. If you see now when I click text, it's just a line below the text. But now if I say type convert paragraph text, makes it more like a paragraph. I can just go on changing it and I can change it into a paragraph basically. And I can change all attributes. It's more like a paragraph. I can wrap it into the box and I can do various things. Then type where will be rasterize convert to point text. With this option I'm not going to discuss it. I don't use it and I've never used it also, so I'll skip this option for now. So type wrap text. So paragraph text was what we already discussed. Wrap text is now not wrap, sorry, warp text. I can just change it into any different shapes. I can change the blend mode basically to place it over objects or any way. So you can play around, and any questions you have, please put in the comment section. That's a warp text. Type match font. So for example, you do not know any font, which font is used, you just go to match font, you select it and it will give you a matching type of font. not used much, but an option. Still searching. So you've got similar fonts and you can use any one of them. Type font preview size. Okay, now when I select a text, when I go here, you see this preview over here. This is the size. You can see it's small. Now if I go to type font preview size, I make it large. Now if I go here, the preview will become bigger. You see, the preview has become bigger over here. That's the only difference. So I'll just keep it back to small because I do not like it very big. Okay. Now type language options we will not discuss because it's not required. Update all text layer, replace missing fonts, resolve missing fonts, and all this balance is something that we will not discuss because it's not required in the basics and it's not used much. So that summarizes the type option. Now we'll go to the select option. Select option also is very simple. So for example, I make a new layer and I draw a selection. Select, deselect. Select all, we'll select the full border, the full canvas. So deselect. If I say select, reselect, it will again reselect it. Now inverse. Now say for example I make a selection and I want to inverse the selection, I'll just say select and inverse. It will inverse the selection and make it opposite. And then select all layers. Now I have got two layers over here, layer 1 and Trevor Lewis. I have selected one. If I say select all layers, it will select both the layers. And if I have many more, it will do the same. Then we go select, deselect layer, will deselect the layer again. Find layer. For example, in my layer panel, if I've got many layers and I cannot find it, I can use the find layer option. And let's, for example, now try to find layer Trevor Lewis. So I'll say find layer and I will type over here, you see here, Trevor Lewis, and you see it's showing me on that layer. It's the same as over here. You have options. Keep it on kind, it will give you all. If you want to find a name, you put name and you just type what you want over here. It will give it to you. Okay? Then we go to select, isolate layers. Now for example, if I want to select, I'm working on this layer, Trevor Lewis. Say on layer 1 I make a rectangle and I'm working only on Trevor Lewis. So I can just go to select and isolate all the other layers and I will work only on this. And when I want to bring it back, I will just bring it back to kind. And you go to select color range. Now color range also is nice. For example, I select the background, I say select color range. Now see, select only that blue area. Again, if I go, I say select color range this clouds. I say okay. I selected the clouds. Select color range. Again I say clouds and I can add to it again to increase the area and I say okay. So it selects a little more. So it's just to play with it, and any questions please message me in the comment section. Focus area. For focus area, for example, I have this file. So I'll just say select focus area. And now you see here, I will you can adjust the focus area. So I just want to extract the lady from the white background. So if I do this too much, I'll come back, okay, I'm happy with this, for example, and I'll say output it to a new layer. So it's okay. Now I've got the lady on a new layer, and if I add a new layer and I put the color, the lady is on a new layer. If you work minutely, you can do a very good finish. This is just an example I showed you. Now we will go to select and mask. It's almost the same. For example, I'll take my quick selection tool and I'll select this lady. If you want to minus the selection, you press the Alt key and you minus the selection. So say for example I've selected this lady. Now I can either say select and mask, or I can use this select and mask over here. So I'll say select and mask, and now you can use the brush and you can refine the edges. But for now I'm not going to do anything because I just want to show you the option. So if I'm happy with it, I'll just say output to a new layer again, and okay. And again the ladies come on a new layer, so I'll make a layer and I'll show you. So again on a new layer. It's the same option but in a different technique. Okay, now we'll go to select, modify. Okay, now modify, come back to my file. Say for example I have a selection. Okay, this is my selection. Now I'll select, modify the border. I'll say give me a 4 pixel border. So I will get a border. You see over here. When I zoom in, you see I have a border here. Okay, made a border. Before it was like this, and then with the border I got it like this. Then I can make a new layer and I can fill it. Okay, done. Then say for example select, modify, smoothen it. You see the edges are sharp. I'll say select, modify, smoothen it. Say by 10 pixels. I'll say okay. I get a curve. So now if I put it, it's got a curve edge. See? Okay. I'm undoing it. Now select, modify, expand. Say you want to expand the square by 5 pixels from all sides. So I'll say 10 pixels from all sides. So 10, 10, 10. So I'll say okay, it'll expand it. So it's just to expand the box. And then I'll say select, modify, contact. Now you decrease it by 10 pixels. So make the selection smaller. Select, modify, feather. Feather. Now if I fill this box, you see I got a sharp edge over here. Say I want to have a smooth edge. I'll say select, modify, feather, and I will say 10. Okay. Now when I fill it, you see it's a difference. It's feathered out the edges. So that's the difference of feather. Select, modify. Now grow. For grow also, if I say select, so I say select the background layer and I say select, where is it not coming? I'll say for example I select the sky and I say select, grow. It's selected wherever it could see blue. Like for example if I select the cloud and I select grow, it's not giving the correct output. Select, grow. select grow, but because the background was not selected, so now if I say sky, select grow, it's tried to take all this color range and increase the selection. If I say, but make sure you select the background, that's why it was not coming earlier. So now I select the sky and I say grow the selection. It will select all that color range wherever it can find. Okay. Then there's something called as similar. It's again the same thing. If I select the sky, it will select similar areas of color. You see. Again, if I select the clouds and I say select similar, it will select similar color ranges. Same with the grass. I make a selection and I say select similar, it will select the grass area. So that's the difference. Now we have transform selection. So for example, I make a selection and now I want to make the selection bigger. I have to make a new one. Let's say I want to make the same selection bigger. Let's say select transform selection and I make it bigger. Happy with it, hit the enter and the selection is bigger. Okay. Then there's something called as edit in quick mask mode. For that, let me go to the next image. Again, it's the same as select and mask option I showed you earlier. Similar, but it's called a quick mask mode. By pressing Q, you can go into the mode. And the icon is over here also, quick mask mode. You can toggle between it. So say for example, I say select edit in quick mask mode. Now keeping the black as a foreground color, I'm using the brush tool. If I brush here, I'll get a red color. Say for example, I want this area. Then I come out of the quick mask mode, I get a selection. But I got a selection of the white area. So I'll just inverse the selection, Control I. Control Alt. Sorry. I'll inverse it. Select and select and inverse it. So I got the lady. So I can just edit, copy, and I'll paste in a new layer. So for example, now you see the lady is here. Of course, you can do it in a very minute and detailed selection. I've just done a rough selection to show you the use of the tool. So that's a quick mask mode. If you do it minutely, you can get the lady extracted in detail. For that, you can check my other tutorials here. And then select load selection. Okay. Now for example, say I made a selection. I will say select, I want to save the selection. I'll give it a name, say 1. And I leave it and I start working around with different objects. Now say I want that selection back after 5 minutes. I'll just go to select, load selection, and I will find my selection number 1. I'll say OK and I will get a selection back. So in this way you can save any selection and you can load it back anytime. So this new 3D extrusion is not required because it's not for basics and we don't use it also. So I'll leave that for now. So that also finishes the select option. So we finish the type and select. Now the filter option is big and there are different filters and different effects. I'll just show you randomly what can be done, and you can explore and play with it at home. Okay. So for example, I'll go to filter gallery. I'll just delete all this. Okay, so filter gallery, there are lots of options. You have color pencil option, you have cutout option, you have dry brush, you can adjust your brush size over here. You have this, you have paint, you have pattern. Play with the options whatever you like, and if you're happy with something you just put a OK. It all depends on what you want to do. If you check out my tutorials of a cartoon effect, I've used a lot of this. Okay, then we have filter. This we don't use much. Lens correction, leave, liquify. We have used this liquify in the dispersion effect. If you check my dispersion tutorial, I've used the liquify and I've created a dispersion effect. So please do check that out and you will understand how I've done it. And you can change the values, and when you're happy, hit OK. Filter, blur. There are different types of blur. I'll use the Gaussian blur. So it's getting blurrer. So it's up to you what you want to do. Then there's filter, blur, motion blur. So you can use different options for different projects. I'm skipping the 3D because I don't want to discuss that because it's not going to be used for basics. Then we have blur gallery, distort. You can create whatever effects you want. You can see it's going to have a ripple over here. I say OK. Yeah. Like a wet glass effect. Filter, distort, whirl. So you can increase it to how much you want, like a cyclone. So you can use these effects. Filter, noise, add noise. You can see the noise added to the image. It's a dot 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 dot. So how much you want, you can do it. You have Gaussian, you have uniform. Okay, done. Filter. There are lots of filters, so I request you to please explore these filters. And any questions, any doubts, buzz me in the comment section. I will not discuss it, otherwise the video will get very long. Then we'll go to the next option, view. 3D I'll skip for now because we don't discuss 3D in the Photoshop and we don't use it much over here for basics. So view is very easy, it's nothing much. This is all for the print, when you're printing a file in a big scale. We'll not discuss that now. Now for example, you want to zoom in, zoom. Okay, in view, zoom in. It's the same as using the zoom and clicking it again and again. And if you want to zoom out, minus, or you can go to view and zoom out. Now if you look at it as you zoomed, you want to see the whole picture at one time. You can go to view, fit on screen, so you get the full picture. But the percentages of the picture is 50%. So it's compressed the full picture to show you in the full canvas. Then okay, then 100% is going to make it full 100% over here. You've seen earlier when we did view, fit on screen, it compressed it to 50%, so you could see the full artwork. Now view 100% will zoom it out to 100%. View to 100% will double it. Then view, print size is for printing, screen mode is all for printing. Extras we don't use much. Then view, show, layer edges, grids, it's all for display only. Then show, hide the grid. Lots of options are there, you can explore it all, different types. Then we have rulers, or you can see the ruler over here. Take it off, or you can put it back. You snap, and snap to guides or snap to layers. As for example, now I make a guideline. I can right from here and make a guideline. So, and now with view, snap is on, so it will snap over here. View, snap to guides. Okay, so now if I draw, it'll snap to the guide. See, I'll zoom in so you can see. If I come here and if I go closer, it's snapping to the guideline, so it will not miss it out. I'm clicking below, but it's snapping on top and left. So just snapping to guideline. If I remove that, view, snap to guides, snap off, I can go close and it will not snap on top to the guides. These are blue lines are the guidelines. Okay, so I'll just leave it back to normal. Snap, lock guides. Now with the move select tool selected, I can move the guidelines. If I say view, lock guides, I cannot move it now. I cannot. This guide I cannot move. So view, remove the lock, and view, clear the guides, will remove the guideline. View, clear canvas guides, knock off all the guidelines again. New guide is the same as dragging it from here. Just created the new guide, but if you want, you can just click the ruler and drag and a new guide comes for left and from top. These are guides. Okay, so view, new guide layout. We don't use log slices. We're not going to use it for now, because mainly this is used when you make slices of the image and export it for web. We're not going to discuss that. Then window. Window is basically nothing but different windows. Like this is one window, this is another window. All panels, layer panel, channel panel, path panel, libraries, actions, all these are in windows. Actions, it's the same what I showed you. Brushes, all different panels are in the window. Channels. So basically you can either show or you can hide whatever you want. It all depends on the workspace, what's comfortable for you. So based on that you can adjust it. So guys, with this it ends up the basic of Photoshop. I'm sure if you read right from the toolbar till the window, you will at least know 80 to 85% of the basics of Photoshop, and you can start working with Photoshop with confidence, and as you practice it, your confidence will go more and more. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for updates, because I'll be sending and uploading a lot of tutorials, and you can see a lot of tutorials that I'll be showing you on my YouTube channel. And I've got my playlist over here which has got the basics which you're looking right now with all the lessons, and over here Fun with Photoshop. I'm going to put a lot of tutorials of different effects where you can learn how I'm doing different effects, and different tutorials of zooming out people from the background and cleaning images, dispersion effect, shortcuts, cartoon effect, and many more I'll be uploading. So please do press the bell icon and wait for the updates. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the classes and I hope you understood what I was explaining. Please give your feedback below of how I was explaining and what I can do better to make it better, and I will do my best to re-upload videos if required. So thank you once again for being a part of this channel, and do please spread the word. See you, bye bye, and please subscribe.